Oh, do I now? Let's see. Hopefully my microphone cooperates. But yeah. I decided to just randomly try this as just something a little bit different, as I wanted to do a more traditional stream where I talked about some wrestling stuff, but I'm going to be going to the movies today, so I don't really have the time to do that, so I decided to upload something a little bit more small. So you can expect a review at some point tonight because I'm going to be going to see the latest Saw movie. And if you know me, you know I'm a huge Saw fan, and I've been waiting a long time for this. So I will be leaving at around 6ish, so I didn't have time for a full-on stream, so this is something a bit smaller. I'm going to go over some news I've been coming across lately. Some of that's been pissing me off, some of it that just depresses me. So, yeah, I was going to originally title this as a episode of Politics Kills podcast, but I thought, you know what, I hate, giving politics any kind of, credence, so I'm just going to label this as a news episode. But yeah, so let me know if this is something you guys would be into, me just covering some stuff in the news every once in a while. Yep. So the first story that we're going to cover is a bit of a sad one, as I'd much rather get this one out of the way first, because some of the other ones later on just make me mad. Ah, crap. Hold on. My thing's not cooperating with me. Give me a second. I'm trying to pull up the image here. So I did mention this on my community tab, but I'm going to also mention it here. Sadly, the author of Berserk... Okay, this is a shitty picture. Hold on. I'll just pull up something on Twitter. This isn't going to work. I hate the way this crap crops sometimes. It's the worst. So give me a second. Okay, give me a moment. I have something on standby, because I always do. Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. Alright, this should work. But yeah, we are greatly saddened after receiving the news that Kentaro Miura's passing. So yeah, sadly we lost the creator of Berserk. And what sucks even more about it is apparently he died at around the age of 50 apparently, which is just total BS, you know? Why is it that people like Hillary Clinton and Biden get to live to their 70s and 80s, but Miura dies at age 54, I believe? What kind of bullcrap is that? My research partner brought this to my attention last night, and a heated discussion broke out because he was offended by my comments I've made a long time ago, because I'm one of those people that I don't understand why manga is in black and white, and I've never understood why they can't be in full color like Korean and American comics. And he explained to me that apparently that's something to do with the industry, and apparently mangaka are worked to death. And he told me that apparently this is a common occurrence where sadly manga artists will just work themselves to death. In fact, I can even recall this one time I read this manga called Queen's Artist, which was written by Watashiya, who famously wrote Kodomo no Jiken. And she wrote a manga about manga artists, and the main character, one of them, was a manga artist, a pretty famous one. And there's this part of the manga where this guy is like staying up ridiculously long periods of time. He's not sleeping, and at one point he runs out of ink, so he starts using his own blood as ink. So I don't know how true it is that there's an epidemic of manga artists like dying in Japan. I know that Japan has a huge problem of employees overworking themselves. I do know that's a huge problem in Japan, but I don't really hear a whole lot of stories of manga artists dying trying to create manga. And I brought this up with my research partner. I'm like, okay, well, what about Kubo? Kubo really got the shit end of the stick when he was working on Bleach, and he's still kicking. Or how about Watashiya? She's still making manga to this day. She started working on this yaoi-themed manga, and she's already announced a new manga in the works. And I never heard stories about her almost dying. Now, maybe it's just because she's a lesser-known manga artist, so maybe those stories would never be covered, or maybe she never opens up about them. Who knows? I mean, I suppose it's possible, because if what Watashiya wrote in her manga is anything to be believed, I guess apparently the life of a manga artist is not exactly a pretty one. So yeah, this is just tragic, and one of the first thoughts that came to my mind outside of this sucks and fuck this world is what's going to become of Berserk now. Is it going to be canceled, or is it still going to be worked on in some capacity? Like, I was really dreading that the prospect of Mira dying before Berserk gets completed, and it's sad that that actually ended up happening. Like, it's just such a sad thing. Like, I don't know. This just sucks. And it's not just that a manga artist died, it's easily one of the greatest manga artists who ever lived. And the fact that he had to die at a young age, I mean, I know some people might not see 50 at a young age, but to me, dying at 50 is a pretty young age. Especially when we have people like Morgan Freeman who are still kicking. You know? It's like, this world has no justice. You know, it's like I mentioned in the stream I did where I told the homeless story, and I mentioned the story about my ex, and how she does everything wrong and is a terrible person and is constantly rewarded for her bad behavior, but I end up becoming homeless despite all the good things I try to do for people. Like I said in that stream, there is no justice in this world. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are, you will end up dying while people like Hillary Clinton are still allowed to walk the earth despite being objectively evil. Yep, I mean, I don't know if there's like true stories of manga artists using blood as ink, but like I said, if Watashiya's Queen's Artist manga is anything to be believed, apparently manga artists put themselves through crazy things to be able to meet deadlines. And if manga artists are really dying, like this is a regular occurrence, then Japan really needs to do something. I've said this for a long time, that the manga industry clearly needs some kind of overhaul, because people shouldn't have to die over wanting to make a comic book. Like, that's just absurd. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, in places like Korea and the USA, like, the idea of someone dying while making a manga is absurd. Like, we never hear stories of people dying making comic books in the West. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some stories you could pull up, but it's just not something you hear about very often, and it just seems kind of absurd, you know? So yeah, rest in peace, Mira. hopefully your incredible story will still be able to be finished in some capacity. A lot of fans are speculating that he probably has drafts lying around. I hope that he does, because I, as a writer, I usually keep some kind of beginning, middle, and end draft lying around of how the story begins and how it ends. Because I think every writer should always know how their story begins and how their story ends. And then they work out everything in between from there. But, yeah. Moving on to the next story. This one really has me pissed off. And it's this whole bullcrap of President Biden signs an anti-Asian hate crime bill into law. Oh, fucking wonderful. Yeah, that's gonna do so much, Biden, you geriatric retard. Fuck you, Biden, you suck. And I'm sick and tired of this forced Asian hate agenda and narrative that's being pushed. If there was an actual problem of Asian hate crimes, we would have heard about it a long time ago. This is so manufactured, it pisses me off. I am sick and tired of these manufactured narratives. Like, don't you think if you actually gave a flying fuck about so-called Asian hate, you would have done something back during the World War II era when you motherfuckers were putting Japanese people in internment camps. You pieces of human filth, kill yourselves! Fuck, I hate this so much! Jeez, I am so sick and tired of this hate crime bullshit. Fuck your equality. It's horse shit. You don't actually believe in it. All hate crime laws is it's just special treatment. That's all you're doing. You're giving extra rights to frickin' black people, Asian people, and gay people. For what? For them being Asian, for them being black, for them being... Why does the fact that someone that gets a violent crime committed on them, why is the fact that they're gay or black have to be a factor? If some guy beats the shit out of me and mugs me, the fact that I'm a gay trap should be irrelevant. What matters is that I got fucking mugged and I got the shit kicked out of me. If someone tried bringing my sexuality into it, I'd be fucking furious. Stop with this fucking hate crime bullshit. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't fix anything. It's just a waste of time. You're not helping equality. You're not stopping hate crimes. These hate crime laws aren't going to stop people. Look, racist people are always going to be racist. That's just a fact of life. Just because you can't legislate racism out of existence. That's not how it works. Yeah, it sucks that racist people exist. But here's the thing. They're always going to exist. Just like rapists are always going to exist. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, seriously, even South Park has explained why hate crime laws make no sense, okay? I've used this analogy before and I'll use it again. If somebody decides that they've just decided to go crazy and they just shoot up a church that just so happens to be mostly black, does that mean that it's a hate crime? Like, why is the fact that it was a bunch of black people that got shot be a factor? Shouldn't it just matter that the guy was crazy and just shot a bunch of people? And again, you are delusional if you think this is going to stop so-called Asian hate. And even then, the only Asian hate crimes that we're hearing about are the ones that are being put in the mainstream media. How convenient. Yet when you read up about stories, because I remember reading up about this story about this black person that was being very hateful and racist towards an Asian woman, and guess what? Nobody covered it. So it's almost as if there's an agenda being pushed. Like the House passed a bill, like review of COVID-19 related hate crimes. Really? So let me see if I can try to interpret this correctly. So if I go beat the shit out of a Japanese guy, I'll just get assault charges. But if I beat the shit out of a Japanese guy or a Chinese... No, wait. Okay, let me start that analogy over again. I kind of screwed up. So if I beat the shit out of a Japanese guy, I'll just get assault charges. But if I beat the shit out of a Chinese person while screaming fuck COVID, I'll all of a sudden get hate crime charges? Is that really how this works? Quentin absolutely has a point. People don't know this, that affirmative action laws disproportionately make things harder for Asians and black people. Get rid of that. There are videos about covering that. Like, again, I am so sick and tired of this hate crime, affirmative action bullshit. And this always comes from the party of people that claim, oh, we want equal rights. No, you don't. You just want to give special privileges. That's all you want to do. All you want to do, Biden, is make it seem like you care about Asian people in the hopes that you can secure their votes, Biden. It's so phony. Okay? You have to be a moron to believe that Biden is doing any of this to quote-unquote help Asians. He doesn't care. It's all a means to an end for him and his dog shit party of old fucks that really need to go die in a ditch. Again, if people actually cared about Asian hate crimes, they would have done something back in the World War II era, back when there was actual racism and discrimination happening against Asian people, not a bunch of manufactured racism, because that's all we get nowadays is a bunch of manufactured bullshit. Like that fucking retarded NASCAR race story where some dipshit saw a fucking rope and then thought it was a noose. Because there's such hysteria that America is just such a racist country. It's not. People bend over backwards for minorities in this country. Hell, it is literally socially acceptable to be racist towards white people. But if you are racist towards a black person, if you're a racist towards an Asian person, you will now be prosecuted as a racist. Where the fuck is this racism against minorities coming from? Tell me! Where? You fucking retards! You dumb fucking shitheads! I fucking hate you so much! Take your fucking hate crime laws and shove them up your ass! No! Fuck! Are you actually delusional enough to believe that this is gonna do anything? Do you? You fucking out-of-touch politicians that don't give a fuck about anything except your own fucking agenda. You don't give a fuck about us. Let's also not ignore the fact that fucking Biden is over here pissing off North Korea, because that's what you want to do, Biden. Go ahead and piss off the country that is just itching to launch nukes at us. Biden, you're a piece of shit. Kamala Harris, you're a piece of shit. Everyone in Biden's cabinet, you objectively suck. You're a waste of human existence. I am so tired of this. I am tired of this fucking agenda of manufactured racism and hate crime laws. It's all bullshit. You're not helping Asians. You really think this is going to protect people? Again, why is the fact that they're Asian the factor here? Isn't the fact that the person is breaking the law enough? It's like when people make hate speech laws. They don't actually do anything. All it does is just create the thought police. I hate politics. I fucking hate politics. If you consider yourself political, do me a favor and fuck off. Okay? Politics are not important. Politics are actively fucking dangerous. All politics do is divide people against each other. That's all it does. Violence against those in the AAPI community has grown despite increased national attention and political action against anti-Asian hate. Oh, really? Where is this spike in Asian hatred? Seriously, somebody pointed out to me. Because I'm not seeing it. I'm pretty in the nose about what's going on out there in the world. And yeah, I watched this one YouTube video that covered some tweets by some people that were being morons blaming China for the coronavirus. But that's it. It was mostly just tweets. The only actual story I found of someone being racist against an Asian, it was done by a black person, wasn't covered. Yeah, and as a result, your mother is brain damaged. Politics actively make you stupider, more ignorant, and more hateful. That's all they do. Politics don't make the world a better place. It actively makes the world a worse place. Like, fuck. I am trying to think of how to adequately explain how stupid this is without losing my fucking mind. Let's see here what the people in this thread have to say. Yet, launching black people. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? Am I reading this right? What the fuck? Really? Oh my god. Oh my god. How stupid are you? If you hang a black person, you're going to jail. Like, do you not understand that that's fucking murder, you dipshit? Jeez. Biden's gonna be in a tough spot with this anti-hate law against Asians when it's his favorite people. Blacks doing the crimes. It's okay for them to attack white people because we're evil. But what is he going to do now? Oh wait, he can have them arrested and Harris can bail them out. I'm an Asian American. My parents fled from communist China, and I swear to God, if this bill prohibits criticizing or vindicating the Chinese Communist government because it's somehow racist, then we will have officially lost our rights against lost our fight against communist China. You know, that's actually a good point right there. I say this because a bunch of idiotic tankies and China boos have been calling criticism against the government of the People's Republic of China and its ruling party, the Chinese Communist Party, as racist. If you don't fucking believe me, I'll submit proof. If your ethnic group ain't got an anti-hate bill passed, then you ain't black. I am sick and tired of these laws passed to protect, in quotations, certain groups in America. The laws in this country already protect all against violence. If you are in search of equality, pass laws that are based on protect all Americans. Exactly. Let's see here. Black on Asian violent crime is 99% more likely than Asian on black. Black on Asian violent crime is 13% more likely than white on Asian. Black on white violent crime is 89% more likely than white on black. Let's see what this says here. Percent of violent incidences by victim and offender, race and ethnicity. White, number of violent incidences, black, Asian, Hispanic. Interesting. Yeah, this hate crime bullshit just infuriates me. It's a bunch of hypocritical bullshit. Like I said, we live in a year where it's socially acceptable to be racist towards white people and nobody will do anything about it, but people bend over backwards for minorities. Isn't this not proof that this country is not racist? And what pisses me off the most is the main story that is used as an example of so-called Asian hatred was that guy who randomly shot up a spa. And like 6 of his victims just so happened to be Asian. Like, maybe it's just a coincidence that a bunch of Asian people got shot, not that he shot them because they were Asian. And again, even if he did shoot them purely because they were Asian, why do you need to charge him for a hate crime? Isn't the fact that he killed a bunch of people enough of an issue? Jeez. God, this irritates me. And you know what the real irony of this is? Joe Biden is a actual racist. He told a story at one of his rallies about how he was racist against a black person. Yet now he's trying to put on this facade of, I care about Asian people, I care about black people. Are you fucking serious, Biden? Do you really think that we're so stupid that we're gonna forget the things you said? Really? Like, I genuinely hate that politicians treat us like we're morons. Don't worry, this isn't going to be a particularly long stream anyway. It's just a little something I'm trying. I think there was one more news story I wanted to cover, but I might need to remember what it was. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna Google something real quick. Give me a moment, guys. It's always hard to find good factual evidence on things nowadays because frickin' Google has to frickin' screw it with its algorithm and only give you results from sources that they approve of. And it's like now we have Black Lives Matter and now there's an Asian Lives Matter now. And it's like nobody has ever said that those lives don't matter. Like, seriously, like, I hate how people try to pretend that before Black Lives Matter and Asian Lives Matter, people would just, like, beat up black people for no reason and just kill them for no reason. That's not a thing. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of these so-called racist hate crimes that are happening are literally just a series of idiots on the internet saying stupid shit. I'm willing to bet that's where it extends to. Because the fact that they had to use a random mass shooting as evidence of Asian racism says quite a lot, don't you think? Oh, Bing is garbage. I don't even use it. Like, I have literally seen so many videos of black people saying why they hate crimes. And that they don't want hate crime laws. And again, if there was such an epidemic of Asian racism, don't you think this would have been well documented a long time ago? I just find it so convenient that we only hear about this right when there's an agenda to be had in the mainstream media. And again, it's delusional to believe that you can legislate this so-called bigotry out of existence. That's not going to work. It reads about as well as legislating murder out of existence. You're not going to do it. Murder is already illegal. Beating someone up is already illegal. Mugging someone is already illegal. These things are already illegal. You think like adding extra laws are going to somehow stop it from happening? Let's take a look at this article right quick. There's a link to my Twitter in the description. Just check the description. There's a link there. Okay, so I found this article right here. It's one of the only ones I found that is seemingly non-biased. At least I hope it'll be. That's what it says. No evidence of increase in hate crimes against Asian community in Houston, HPD says. Okay, so this must be like a sort of local article. Might as well take a look at it anyway. Law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. With reports nationwide of an increase in attacks on Asian, Houston police and Harris County Sheriff's Office are stepping up patrols in some neighborhoods. Police chief, But after last night's Asian spa shooting that left 8 people dead in Atlanta, Mayor Sylvester added extra patrols at my request. Houston Police Department increasing patrols. Blah blah blah. 6 of the like again. This really just pisses me off. Just because 6 of the victims were Asian women, like, of course the media immediately jumps on this and says, racism, sexism, this is a white supremacist country, even though, from what I understand of the situation, the guy shot up the spa because he apparently blamed the women for not being for the reason being as to why he couldn't get laid or something like that. I don't know. Apparently his motivation had nothing to do with them being Asian. The thing with hate crime laws is they're very difficult to prove, because unless the person says, like, I beat this person up because they were black, it's literally just an assumption. Well, it's like I said, if someone shot a black person, they just automatically assume it's racism. Rather than just, oh, it might have just been a mindless killing. But investigators say the suspect denies it was a hate crime. They say Robert Long, 21, claims he targeted the spas because he's a sex addict and the spas are temptation he wanted to eliminate. Ah, there we go. So yeah, there you go. The guy was a sex addict and he said he wanted to eliminate temptation. Now that's an odd motivation, but what about this screams racism to you people? I ask you. So let's see what else this says. Statement from the chief, blah, 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 blah. Like, the tweets like this really piss me off. Like, why do you have to point out that they're Asian women? Why? Why is that a fucking factor? The tweets like this just aggravate me. The vicious murder of Asian women in Atlanta is beyond disturbing, especially against a backdrop of an increased violence towards Asian Americans. If there is an increased violence towards Asian Americans, please point it out to me. To the hundreds of thousands of Asian Americans in Harris County, we stand with you as neighbors and will not tolerate bigotry. Oh yeah? Lena? What the fuck are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do, you little fucking bitch? Huh? What are you gonna do about it, huh? You're gonna fucking virtue signal about how much you hate racism, and you're not gonna do shit. You're gonna encourage Asian people to buy guns? Probably not. You're gonna encourage them to take self-defense classes? Probably not. No, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna fucking virtue signal like the useless little cunt that you are. That's all you're gonna do. Bunch of fucking bullshit. Oh, guy says he didn't commit the crime because he was racist, but they're gonna say it's racist anyway. How about the fact that 8 humans are dead? Why does the fact that 6 of them are Asian take higher precedent over the fact that 8 human lives are now gone? Have you ever considered the fact that you people are the actual racists? Because you're focusing on their race as if it's the only thing that matters. 8 people are dead, and all you can think about is the fact that 6 of them were fucking Asian. That's all you can think about. Oh yeah? Where's the fucking data? I keep seeing all these articles of people saying that hate crimes are spiking, but I don't seem to see any data on it. Well, here's the thing. I'm not pretending like I'm trying to change the world. Okay? Like, that's just such a stupid response. Okay? Like, when you take a tragedy and you manufacture it into something that it's not, that's just disrespectful to the people that died in that tragedy. When you give higher priority of people who are losing their lives based on their skin color, how is that not racism? You want to know what I would say to the Asian community if there truly is a spike in hate crimes? Then take proper measures to protect yourselves and protect your families. If you rely on the government to do it for you and the police to do it for you, they're going to make it worse, especially in regards to calling the police, because the police are far more likely to just kill you for no reason. Like, here's one thing I can tell you. These regulations aren't going to do anything. Like people who are going to be racist, you think they're going to be discouraged by some laws? They're already racist. It doesn't matter if anarchists win or not. It's not about winning, okay? This is what I'm talking about, okay? This isn't a sport, okay? Stop treating it like it's a sport. It's not about who fucking wins. Like, the fact that people are dying and you got people out there treating all this bullshit like it's some kind of sport, like, look, I'm supporting these legislation that's against Asian hate. I win. I'm so much more morally superior than you are. Like, fuck off, you asshole. You're not doing anything. Like, this is just aggravating to no end. And again, I would encourage anyone who genuinely believes that there's a spike in Asian hate crimes, please show me some data. I would love to see it for myself. Because, again, I follow the news. I follow what goes on in the real world. I mean, I don't follow the news because the news is fake and manufactured, but I usually follow what goes on in the real world, and I don't really see that many stories of Asian people getting beaten up, lynched, or any of that stuff. I found one YouTube video that covers some mean tweets. And guess what? Stupid people are going to say stupid shit on the internet. It's just how it is. I've had people say homophobic things against me on Twitter and Facebook. Okay? It's not the end of the world. But if you truly care about equality, then stop giving priority based on race. If an Asian person gets assaulted, they're going to be arrested regardless of hate crime laws. Like, seriously. It's like when they passed that Karen Act to fight against racially motivated 911 calls, even though it's already illegal to file a phony 911 call. So it's like, what are you hoping to achieve? Oh yes, I do think I finally remembered the last story I wanted to cover. I gotta stop covering the story because I'm gonna give myself a freaking heart attack. Because this is really pissing me off. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if it's still trending, but let's take a look. Probably not. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, here it is. So there's this story right here that I found on Twitter where apparently people are making knitted penises for small girls to wear in their pants if their parents believe them to be transgender. Like, not if they're transgender, if their parents think that they are transgender. This doesn't, you are literally just encouraging little girls to do the equivalent of stuffing their bra. Like, seriously. Could you imagine if there was a bunch of people encouraging little boys to stuff their pants to make it look like they have a bigger dick than they actually do? This is just disturbing. Again, stop. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Stop pushing this transgender stuff onto children. It's creepy. Stop it. Like, you people want to talk about how you hate pedophilia. Well, then how do you explain this crap? You are a sick person for promoting fake dicks for toddler girls. What the fuck is wrong with you liberals? Don't you people want children to have pure and innocent childhoods and not be sexualized? You pedo fucking cunt. I'm not even going to bother to censor that. Fuck you, YouTube. You people are sickening. But you know what? Civil war is near in America, and perverts like you will be hung from poles. You deserve the rope, you fat, ugly pedophile bitch. Fuck you, cunt. I wish I could get my hands on you and bash your skull in. I mean, though that's probably taking it a little too far, I can somewhat understand where this person is coming from. Because this is just fucked up. How dare you? This is beyond unacceptable. They are just kids. Barely can think for themselves. And that's a good point. Like, kids don't have the mental capacity to understand stuff like this. So why do you want to push it on them? Why do you want to push drag queens on children? Why? Well, I said this before, I'll say it again. Stuff like Desmond is Amazing and Lactatia, do you know how close we are to real life Boku no Pico? Mark my words, real life Boku no Pico is coming, people. And these liberals want that. And here's my tweet right here. Please stop pushing this trans stuff onto children. If they become teenagers and adults, let them figure that out. However, don't make kids have to go through this crap. Let them at least make it through their childhood before they have to face the horrors of the world. So this is the maker, apparently. I'm the maker. I make soft packers for trans kids and non-binary people who find a prosthetic reduces dysphoria. Some parents of trans kids requested a smaller dick size for their kids who were experiencing crippling dysphoria. No, I don't deal with kids. That would be inappropriate. Oh, gee, you think? And I'm more than honored to be some small part of their journey to knowing and loving themselves and knowing they are beautiful and worthy exactly as they are. Wow, please stop thinking about children's genitals. A baby would never believe it's the opposite sex. And neither would an older child unless the parents press it upon them. Way inappropriate. This is not okay on any platform. And that's a good point. You can find stories of these super liberal SJW parents that will say that their children are transgender. Or there's that really tragic case about how this mother was forcing his son to be a girl, essentially, telling him that he's a girl and like scaring him. And that whenever he was around the father, he acted like a normal boy. But whenever he was around the mother would basically manipulate him and coerce him into thinking that he was a girl. Like, this stuff happens. And of course, people are going to force this onto children that don't know any better. And it's just depressing. This is a new level of disgusting. Children mimic what is shown to them. This is intended for parents to breed transgenders. You're a special type of evil and vile for even making these. This clearly isn't a diaper. It's clearly underwear. It's clearly not about abuse, but a simple demonstration of how the Packer works. It's a cheap solution for kids and adults with body dysphoria to feel like the gender in their heart and soul. Really? This is not how you deal with body dysphoria. That's like dealing with temper tantrums by letting your kids watch unlimited TV and eat ice cream for dinner. If you want your kid to be permanently messed up, you deal with the problems by giving in to and reaffirming them. Like, this just makes me sick. And what pisses me off is the people who support this crap are the same people that would walk up to an anime fan and call them a pedophile just for simply liking anime. But wanting to encourage children to stuff themselves to make it look like they have junk is perfectly okay, apparently. There's been a lot of speculation, Malcolm, that this country is on the brink of civil war. And it's a potential possibility. Obviously, nobody wants a civil war to break out, but right now things are a mess in our country, and the mainstream media is not making anything better by making all this manufactured racism. Which is only making people think that this is a racist country that needs to be overthrown by groups like BLM. So if you're a person that is against anime because you think it's pedophilic, but support this, you are a hypocrite, and I am convinced that you are the actual predator. Because this is just not okay. And I have trans friends that would not be okay with this. So don't try to say, oh, you're not transgender. How dare you try to say something about this? Like, I know actual trans people that wouldn't be okay with this. Get real. Like, I say this all the time. I really hate this world sometimes. This world is so fucking degenerate, it pisses me off. Like, you got people manufacturing hate crimes to make it seem like that Asian hatred is an epidemic. You got people wanting their children to stuff their junk. And you got beloved manga artists dying for no reason. This is bullcrap. And this is part of the reason why I don't like talking about politics in the news, because it genuinely stresses me out. And again, to the Asian community, if you genuinely believe that you are in danger of hate crimes, again, take precautions to protect yourself. Don't antagonize people that you believe might be racist. Carry a gun or some kind of self-defense tool with you. And be aware of your surroundings. If you feel like you're in a bad neighborhood, get out of there. Like, when I think I'm walking into a bad neighborhood, I go in the opposite direction. Like, it's all about being aware of your surroundings. I carry a gun around with me. And here's the thing. I'm gay, and I'm not afraid of getting beaten up for being gay. And if I did get beaten up for being gay, I wouldn't want the person to be charged with a hate crime. I would actively speak out in the court and say I would like them to go to prison for beating the crap out of me, but if you try to charge them with a hate crime, I am not going to be okay with that. Honestly, this country is a mess. And I'm tired of it. I swear, I may end up leaving this country because I'm sick and tired of America right now. America really pisses me off sometimes. So, yeah. That was a short little stream. Let me know how you all feel about me covering just random news stories every once in a while. I mean, unlike the mainstream media, I'll actually be honest. I'm not going to give you a bunch of BS. But this was just a little experiment to give you guys something to do. Hopefully my microphone is cooperating, so that way I can get back to recording videos, because I was trying to record a video talking about the next death battle, and my mic decided to screw up for no reason. And I don't live with my little brother anymore, so I can't borrow his blue snowball anymore. So I might have to get a backup mic, who knows. No, I probably wouldn't go to Mexico. No offense to Mexico. I know that there are some really nice parts of Mexico, but I just wouldn't really want to go there. And yeah, like I said, I am going to go watch the new Saw film, Spiral. And I'll likely have a review uploaded. If a review isn't uploaded by tonight, it'll probably be because my microphone is continuing to malfunction. But let's hope that that doesn't happen. And I still need to also remember to get that review up of King Kong vs. Godzilla. Maybe I'll try to see if I could get them both up. Who knows? But yeah, the movie will be starting around 7, so I'll likely be leaving at around 6:30. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think about these news stories. And it's almost 6:30, so I'm probably going to cut it off here so I can head to the movie theater. The movie theater is less than 30 minutes away, but I just want to make sure I'm able to make it on time and get my ticket. No, I've never heard of the book series Wings of Fire. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry if things got a little heated, but like I said, politics genuinely angers me. That is probably one of the only few times you will see me genuinely angry, not like fake angry. Like usually a lot of my anger you see in my videos is fake and heavily exaggerated. Hopefully I don't throw out my voice though, because I can't count how many times I've thrown out my voice when I do get genuinely angry. That's the thing. If you don't hear me throw out my voice, then odds are I probably was not legitimately angry. Yes, I'm still in Texas. Like, look, I could watch Spiral, but I really want to see it in the movie theater because I've never gotten to see a Saw movie in theaters, you know? And watching it on my laptop just isn't the same as watching it on the big screen, you know? Plus, I'm not going to lie, it would be kind of nice to get out of the house and have something to do because outside of work on my YouTube videos and playing video games on my computer, I haven't had a whole lot to do, honestly. I mean, I wish I had some friends or fans that lived close by so I can go do stuff. Like, I would love to bring someone with me to the movie, but none of my friends live close by, and my roommate doesn't want to go either, which blows. Let me see something here. Son of a bitch! What the fuck? Why is my clock so far behind? Son of a